is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brad and I are doing our second Marvel Champions hero ranking list. This, since the last time we have done this, there have been 11 heroes that have been released as of yet, with, at this point in time, Drax and Venom are yet to be delivered, so they will not be making this one. But probably for a third ranking list, they will be included. So, for the same thing as the first one. So if you want to know what our thoughts are on the ones before this, definitely go check out that ranking list. But it's done the same way. I have ranked them in terms of my least favorite to my most favorite.
Yeah.
on all of them. And for these, if you want to know very specifics on the characters, you can go check out my actual reviews for them. But yeah, for this ranking list, they were almost all good. For me.
Yeah, there was a couple that were. We'll get to those.
Yeah,
that were kind of early. The reasonings why they
may
or may not be, and we'll talk about it. They're all good. There isn't any horrible.
Yeah, I feel like in the first ranking of the list, there were a 2 or something that was I just don't like them.
Yeah.
But this one, it's oh, nope, even the number 11, even that one is that's pretty good, but I don't really prefer compared to the rest. So let's go ahead and get started with, we will have 11 crossover. This will be pretty cool.
We'll see how many we have exactly
the same
number.
So, my number 11 is Hawkeye. Hawkeye he was released in the Rise of Red Skull, and if you watch my run through for the Rise of Red Skull, he has the same problems that I found with Black Panther. He needs very specific cards to be effective in any way. If he doesn't get those cards, he sucks ass. And so, and I should also mention, these are all based off their pre-constructed decks, so it's not like I'm taking...
See, I've played them pre-construct, but then I messed with other stuff too, so I did do some deck building on mine.
See, I did not. I reviewed these based off of how they come straight out of the package. But yeah, so, I mean, it's not that Hawkeye is always bad. If he does have his arrows, he's badass, but, and he's versatile in many ways with being able to stun enemies, being able to thwart, remove scheme, and be able to do damage, and he can shoot multiple arrows if you get the right equipment out, but once he runs out of arrows, it's just okay, you're trash.
He's limited.
Yeah.
And another thing about him, a big key point that I put when he comes up, is he needs to be played multiplayer. By multiplayer, you need to have 2 heroes.
Yeah.
Like one person controlling 2 heroes, how I usually play, because if you play him by himself...
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. A true solo with him, it's not
he is a solid support character. And I feel there are actually quite a few heroes that they've released that it's one of the other ones actually in this ranking is a solid support. They're not going to be the heavy hitters, which makes thematic sense. Hawkeye's never the solo guy to take down the villain, but he can help out. So I gave him a 6 out of 10. He's still above average. He whenever he pops off, but most of the time he doesn't. And they gave him the leadership deck, I think, to give him allies to protect himself.
Yeah,
to be
that makes sense.
But the problem with getting those allies out is I have a hard time paying to get him out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he was a struggle to make it through the Rise of Red Skull campaign with, because if it wasn't for Spider-Woman, the other one that came with it, I think it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So that's my number 11.
All right, my number 11 is Wasp.
Interesting. Okay.
And I put her at 11. Decent options.
Sure.
And stuff. She still has that the big version and all that stuff. But she's another one, just like we said with Hawkeye. I feel she needs the multiplayer. If she's not playing with Ant-Man, she gets limited a little bit. She needs to play with another hero.
Okay.
And if she's playing with Ant-Man, she's viable. So there's a little hitch in this ranking. If she's playing with Iron Man, she's a higher up on the list, but her by herself or whatever, she needs that multiplayer aspect, you know. She just kind of, I don't know. To me, when playing with her, I didn't get the fun out of her like I did with like Ant-Man and stuff like that, you know. She's a support character.
Yeah, I've actually only played her with Ant-Man because at the time I was thinking, oh, they're going to do a lot of stuff with that team-up thing. No, they literally did not do anything with that.
Like one card, I think.
One card is in there. And even then, it's just like, oh, if Ant-Man is in play, you get this ability. And it's like, well, does that count like for Ant-Man the hero or Ant-Man the ally? Or both? So that was just kind of a misleading thing that I had heard.
Yeah, so
with her.
She's fine, but I would never take her individual, true solo.
Yeah.
I think she works best as a you know, like she works well. Like I used her because I use Iron Man a lot. You know, Iron Man's a long setup.
Yeah.
So like she works well with that because while he's doing his setup, she can be doing stuff.
Right.
But she's not like super good at any one thing necessarily.
Yeah.
You know,
I would agree with you
Iron
there.
Man. So then when Iron Man's pumped up, then he takes over and she kind of, you know. So she's solid. You know, like I forgot to number these, but I would say probably a 6.
Okay.
Like what you said with Hawkeye. You know, give or take on that.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Yeah, Wasp was one that I actually was thinking that she was going to be number 11, funny enough. But the more I was looking through her cards kind of as a quick refresher on what she does, and I was like, how is she different from Ant-Man again?
Right.
And she is, but not drastic. Obviously, they kind of do the same thing. But she is not my number 11. My number 10 is, funny enough, the second hero that came in the Rise of Red Skull, and that's Spider-Woman.
Really? Down at 10?
She 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
But she does nothing. Her only uniqueness is the 2 aspects. That's all she's got. And while that was unique at the time, looking through her cards and seeing how she played through, I mean, yeah, they're great, but I'm sitting there and I was like, wait a minute, so like what unique powers does she get? Yeah, she buffs herself by playing aspect cards,
right.
But that's also limited, and her deck is mainly just the 2 aspects, which is aggression and yellow. What is yellow? Leadership. No, yellow is justice. So that was kind of her gimmick. Once again, extremely cool because we hadn't seen that before. I think until she was the first one that had the 2 aspects that came in.
Yes, that was her big.
And that's why she's a 7 out of 10 because yes, you have the uniqueness, but once again, I don't really feel Spider-Woman from her, but that doesn't mean she's still incredibly versatile having those 2 aspects. But at the same time, it's kind of like she's consistent, which is why she's higher than Hawkeye. But I would say Hawkeye feels like Hawkeye whenever you have his arrows, and Spider-Woman, I was like, who? Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Kind of like how you're like feeling with Wasp. I would never just be like, hell yeah, fucking Spider-Woman, like let's play her.
Right.
But I wouldn't be upset playing her. Honestly, like Hawkeye started as a 6, Spider-Woman is 7. It only goes up from here. Like they were all good. But Hawkeye and Spider-Woman just kind of fell flat, especially with the rest of these.
Yeah, we'll talk about a little bit more on Spider-Woman when we get to her. When I get to her, there's a big thing about her deck that makes her higher in my opinion. But
all right.
Plus, I'm a Justice player. Anything
you are a Justice player. Yeah, I would probably lean more in aggression. Yeah, aggression's probably my
deck building for Spider-Woman's sweet with the cards that have come out with Justice and
right,
like
yeah,
too,
yeah, exactly. So, and I'm sure she's higher up because you do deck build, and I typically don't.
And that'll be interesting with her list. That's something that that the viewers need to you're going base. I test deck build a little bit.
Gotcha.
I always play the base first.
Yep, because I feel like, especially because I review these, I feel like it's unfair for me to be like, Hawkeye's fucking amazing, I totally like constructed his deck in the most optimal way.
Which is why it's a good mix because you're getting the 2 different versions of it.
Yep.
All right, so my number 10 then is Hawkeye.
Okay.
Almost for the exact same reasons I said with Wasp. Secondary character, limited. Good when he gets the right stuff. He's definitely not a solo only player. He needs that other hero to complement.
And I will say, tagging on with bringing Hawkeye back in, is he does have ways to like look at the top bunch of his cards and draw from them. But I cannot tell you how many times I did that and there wasn't a single arrow. And I'm like, okay, so I'm useless. I know I'm useless for the next 2 rounds.
Well, and I tried deck building with Hawkeye, and that's another reason he's down here. Leadership is about the only thing that really fits with him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because he just gets owned.
Maybe protection, so he can defend himself, so he doesn't take damage. But
I didn't do protection. I did aggression and justice.
Okay.
I always try with justice.
Just to see.
But yeah, it's he just didn't. I think leadership's about the way to go with him.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, getting the minions.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cheaper minions out when you deck build as well, so you can get more things out.
Well, you also mentioned that he's a great support character, which makes sense that he has all these allies out for him. Right. And he's like, hey, I'm supporting these guys.
Yeah, these guys are out fighting, and I'm picking people out.
Yeah, exactly.
The Overwatch.
Which is, yeah, I mean, exactly. So, I totally get it.
Oh, and I guess Hawkeye, I would go with 6 again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. My number 9 here is where... so we already have 2 crossovers. Well, we're going to have 11. But yeah, my number 9 is Wasp. Once again, I played her with Ant-Man, and I was like, yeah, this is a really cool... Because when you have both of them constantly swapping their forms... with their shitty-ass forms that Fantasy Flight made... then you do really see the team up kind of combo with them. But yeah, by herself, when I was trying to refresh myself, I'm like, why is she, like I said, why is she different from Ant-Man? Like, isn't she the exact same? She's not, because she gets buffs while in one form, whereas Ant-Man, as we'll obviously talk about later, has the versatility to constantly go back and forth in and out, while she's just like, I'm small. Now I need to do stuff while small, and I'll thwart while small, and then, now I'm big, now I'll do damage. So she's a lot more straightforward, I think, but because she does still have those 2 modes, and I can see how they work coming straight out of the gate, is why she's higher up than Spider-Woman and Hawkeye. Because you do have that control. There's nothing in her deck that's going to be like, well, I'm fucking useless now because I didn't draw the exact correct thing I need to. So I gave her a 7 out of 10. So yeah, but yeah, pretty much the exact same reasons you said. I could play Wasp solo, by herself, but yeah, I think she does kind of happen to sing a little more if she has another ally with her. The way you mentioned it with Iron Man prepping to get his suit built is perfect for to have Wasp defending. Yeah, so I agree there.
All right, so my number 9 is number 9 mainly because of the lack of play.
Okay.
I played this character twice. I actually didn't even do deck building with this one.
Oh, okay.
And this is Groot.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in. My number 8 is Groot.
Okay.
Yep.
He's excellent in the protection role. The protection cards, that's his thing. He gets the counters, that do all that stuff. He's very thematic.
Yeah.
His deck is.
Yep.
And he can hit hard.
Yes. But you have to prep to have him hit hard. Yeah.
So I don't know. Protection almost needs to be his. Like that's he almost not pigeonholed, but he's kind of pigeonholed into being a protection, a secondary character, protection, along
take
with
no
somebody,
damage. Like he is a tank.
Yeah, that's why him and Rocket work well together.
Right.
Just because he.
I felt like
protect and
in the Galaxy's Most Wanted, I felt like the Groot Rocket combo worked way better than Spider-Woman and Hawkeye.
Yeah, and it makes more sense.
It does.
Spider-Woman and Hawkeye. I don't
that
know
was
why
kind of weird.
Those 2 were selected.
I don't know. They were just trying to get people out. But yeah, Groot, and I mean honestly, like kind of what you were saying is whenever I first, because I played Galaxy's Most Wanted a few times with Kat, and I was playing Groot for the run through. I did it with my friend Josh, and I played Rocket. Yeah, I mean, Groot is a tank, but, like, he'll almost never take damage. But because of that, he's also never dealing damage. And when Josh was playing him, he would intentionally swap to his other side so he can ramp up, and then we're hurting because he's not. But then like his next turn, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do 15 damage," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well,
right.
Yeah, that worked out." But yeah, he has a weird dynamic because if you don't understand that you have to prep to get him to do something, he's gonna suck.
Yeah, and that's one I'll play him more. I know he possibly would be up a few more spots.
If you try him without protection, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I will. I'll try him. I do that with all of them.
Yeah,
I'll try him justice at least. Maybe aggression. Maybe an aggressive Groot.
Aggressive Groot. That'd be gross. That could be gross. All right. Yeah, I mean, that was my number 8. I give him a 7 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, me too. That was where I was at.
Yep.
My number 8 then is a new one that, again, I've only played a couple times. I mess around a little bit with the aspects. And he has the most upside, I think, of the characters, like that could jump the most playing, and that's Star-Lord.
Oh, okay. Wow, really? He's that low, huh?
Well, and mainly because I haven't played him a ton.
I say he's that low. That's, yeah.
And he is a kind of a chaotic character, which fits.
It does fit,
all that stuff with the whole encounter card gimmick that he runs through, and everything. He can deal damage. He can do his stuff. His equipment is pretty sharp. He is one that I don't know. Did you play him true solo?
Yes.
Okay. How does he do true solo?
You mentioned he is very thematic because he is rash. Is kind of the word I would use for him. It's kind of a coin toss. It's not that he's bad. It's just that you risk a lot.
Yeah, it's a high risk.
So you're just like, all right, I'm going to take 7 face-down encounters, and I'm going to deal a bunch of damage, but I hope I survive.
Yeah.
That's kind of how he feels. So he does work well solo, and it's kind of fun. I enjoyed actually kind of that. I'm going to risk a lot because there's not a lot of risk-reward characters. And that's why I like him. But yeah, he works pretty well solo.
Yeah. He's that whole encounter card deal. It's a risk, like you said, but he's one that I want to toy around with a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just to see how things shake. So I think because I played him, I haven't played him true solo. I played him with Iron Man because I played him, right. Him and Iron Man, and then him and Gamora when I first had him. So
fair enough.
So he's solid, and he definitely, like I said, has the most upside of the people in this.
It is 1 to 4. Yeah. I might just have to do it solo because I don't think I'd have fun playing it. But I really want to just take Ronan, and I'd take all the Guardians.
God.
And how much health does he have? 600.
Well, you need to wait until the Nebula hero pack comes
out.
Oh
God, no, she doesn't count. No, I can't. Right now you can do Drax is the main Guardian. But yeah, you can do Gamora, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot. And I feel like Ronan was designed to fight 4 heroes.
Well, Gamora was dead at that point, so you could kick her aside and put Drax in.
When they fought Ronan? She wasn't.
Oh, not Ronan. I was thinking Thanos. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
no. I was like, wait a minute.
I had it wrong.
Yeah. But I could not put Drax because I was gonna say Jason Momoa. Dave Bautista is not going to be Drax, so
next one,
you don't count.
I wonder if they're going to kill him off or replace him.
No, I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, Star-Lord.
Yeah. So, like I said, upside is high on him. After I want to do more deck building options with him. Try to get some expensive cards in his deck and try to get them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because yes.
Like
take a face down encounter to make something 3 cheaper.
Right, and there's who is the damn ally? There's an ally in Gamora's deck. I want to say somebody's deck and deck building person. It was Heim. No, not in there. It was Heimdall.
Oh,
whatever
okay.
deck Heimdall came in because he costs like
Thor probably. Right.
Yeah, possibly, but he costs like 7
Okay.
or something to bring out. But if you put him in this and got the 3 cheaper, this
Yeah.
Heimdall's a pretty badass ally to throw out there.
Right.
That's something to toy around with him. Bring in the expensive cards and
That's true.
get some big ass
That's a good
stuff
point.
going out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's my 8 for now.
Okay. My number 7, I was actually surprised at that it wasn't lower, because as I was initially thinking of this ranking list, I was like, he's probably low. But then I was like, I played him again, and I was like, no, he was actually a lot of fun, and that is Quicksilver. So Quicksilver, he's extremely one note in theme. He's fast. That's all he's got. But when you're thinking of the mechanics of this game, we talked about a lot in the first ranking, is kind of what you want to get out of your heroes, and you like having a bunch of cards like out in front of you. I like combos, and Quicksilver is exactly that. Like so many combos of just, okay, I'm gonna attack. Okay, now I'm gonna do this to ready him. Okay, now I'm gonna do this massive swirl tornado attack. Okay, so I'm gonna exhaust him again. All right, now I'm gonna ready him again, and by doing all of that, I dealt 1 damage. Like, because it doesn't hit that hard, but I mean, he would be a fantastic support kind of minion control. Like, I played him, the first time I played him was against Ultron, and Ultron puts out a lot of those minions, but the problem is I didn't do enough damage to kind of do crowd control as well as trying to attack Ultron. So I think I had like 1 hit point, and he had like very low, but it came down to it, but I didn't beat him. But yeah, with Quicksilver, just the fact of the multiple combos that you get to give him some more health, some more damage, and then you're constantly readying and attacking is something that I thought that they were going to do, but ended up being a lot of fun.
He's going to be higher up on my list.
Yeah.
But the deck building with him makes him insane.
Really?
Yeah, and we'll get to that here in a little bit.
Yeah, so Quicksilver is at my number 7, and he is a 7 out of 10.
Yes. I guess Star-Lord would have been 7
Okay.
for me as well. My number 7, staying on the Guardians theme, is going to be Rocket.
That's my number 6.
Okay, so he is what I would put in quotes as the minion killer.
That is, yes.
He just mows them down.
God. It's like, if you overkill a minion, draw a card, and it like every time you kill a minion, it's overkill.
Yeah. Yeah, that is his big purpose. Like, so he would go crazy on an Ultron deck, getting those things, he'd just mow them over and
that's true.
And go. He's fun to play too. The only reason he's not higher is mainly just the fact that, well, I enjoy playing the other ones better, obviously. And whereas he's fun, deck building for him is not as fun. Like his pre-build is almost
his
better.
Pre-build is pretty damn
There are
good,
some stuff I can add in, but changing some stuff around, like his pre-build is really fun. They did a good job of setting his deck up for it, and where deck building is a lot of the fun for me. Yeah, that kind of takes a little bit out of it for him. He's still wonderful. Right, wonderful. I mean, I would probably.
He can pop off really, really well in also just dealing damage to like the villain, because if you get a really good combination, because he has you know what I noticed about his deck, he doesn't have the genius energy or it was either him or there was a deck that came out recently that didn't have those 3. No, it was Star-Lord. Star-Lord doesn't have those 3 cheaper or the two resources. But Rocket has those, as well as his salvage cards that are also 2 resource. But what makes him really cool is he's thematic, and like he has a pistol, and then you run out of ammo, and then he just tosses it and grabs another one out. And he has... Now, one thing I will say about Rocket is his art is either the most hideous I've ever seen or amazing. I don't know what happened. It looks like a few of it, like they were like letting it dry and it got wet and it just like smeared, and they're like, fuck, we gotta get this to the printer, who cares? It's so weird. But yeah, it's because he also relies on his gadgets similar to Hawkeye, but he is, for me, 5 spaces higher, and that's because he has way easier access and almost always has a weapon out. And is always, he has the energy packs to constantly keep him charged. It's not just like, oh, discard it, it's gone. He will almost never not have a gun that allows him to either just at least attack in some way. So him paired with Groot during the campaign worked really well. Because Groot is going to be the heavy hitter taking the villain. And it's like, okay, well, I can destroy some minions, get them off your back. Or you can destroy the minion because I have this reload to, I'm going to use my rocket launcher, deal 4 damage, use my reload to ready it, use this energy pack to put a charge back on it, and do 8 damage, then I'm going to attack. And yeah, it's just, he has really good combos.
Yeah, he's fun, for sure. I'd probably say he's still at about he was close. I'll put him at 7.
I think I put him as a 7 as well.
He was close to being at that 8 mark.
Same.
He was fun to play.
Yep. It's kind of like, I'd probably maybe put him at a 7.5 because there were a few games during the campaign where I didn't do much, but Groot did the same thing. But then it's like most of the time he was going off, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So he's kind of in that middle, 7 to 8, depending on how the cards are coming out.
All right, so you already did your 6.
Yep, Rocket was my number 6.
So my number 6 is Ant-Man.
My number 5 is Ant-Man.
There we go, perfect, this will work. I put him here. I'm not a huge Ant-Man and Wasp. Have
you seen the movies?
Yeah.
They're so good.
They are because of Paul Rudd.
Yes.
He wasn't, but I would say his biggest plus, and the reason he's up here at this deal, is he's very versatile. Like, the versatility of him is awesome.
Yeah.
With he's powerful. He can do all kinds of shit. You can play him true solo.
Yeah.
Now you pair him up with somebody like the Wasp, of course, or somebody else that lays support, then you're going to get that much more bang for your buck out of him.
I think the reason why him and Wasp work out so well is because they can constantly change forms, and they each do something better depending on which form they're in.
Right.
And the reason why I like Ant-Man more is because he has an immediate response when changing forms, and because he's built around popping big to popping small, and so you can constantly combo back and forth and ready him and change forms. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a lot out of him. He can handle a lot of different situations with stuff. He is what is his base deck aspect? Is he?
Oh, I don't know.
Aggression?
No.
Because I've played him aggression. I like aggression with him.
I don't remember.
He's not leadership, and I don't think he's either justice or.
He's not protection, I don't think.
No, he must be justice then, because I've played him aggression, whether that's his key or not.
Yeah, I don't remember actually.
Aggression is fun with him just because you're just going out there and whacking, and stuff, and it's fun with him, and that's why when you run him aggression, it's good to have another hero there that has the thwarting abilities and stuff, because you just have him go out there and go crazy on people, and you have the thwarting from somebody else, whoever that may be, whether it's Wasp or whatever. But yeah, he's right there at that 6 mark. He's probably my first 8 for his consistency.
Same. Yeah, he's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, just because he's just so damn. He can handle a lot of situations. Yeah. There's what I've noticed, and I think you probably may have too. There's a lot of those early heroes from like Core Box and stuff like that don't seem, unless you deck build a lot, don't seem to be able to hang as much, like in the Galaxy's Most Wanted scenarios.
I haven't tried them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. I mean, they're good. Sure. And I think you have to do deck building, but their base decks don't seem to be able to handle like the Ronins and stuff like that as well.
Well, no one can handle Ronin because he's designed to.
Well, right, but I mean any of those, like whether it's the Collector. I mean, it's
right.
There's stuff that that you need to prepare for, like a lot of those earlier decks, and he can handle more things. His versatility.
Okay.
Like Iron Man is hard, like to try to, because I ran Iron Man through everything, and he just struggles on campaigns. Any of those campaigns.
Yeah, funny enough, I have not gone back with other heroes because I only did the campaigns for the channel. I haven't gone back yet to try and be like, okay, let's try and put Hulk and Captain Marvel through them. See what they're like.
If we redid the opening deals, Hulk would probably almost be at the bottom for me.
You think?
Yeah, I just do not like playing with him anymore.
Interesting. I don't remember where he was on your. On your
I don't
initial
remember
ranking.
either, but I keep trying him and hoping for stuff, and he just is
Yeah.
not there.
I definitely want to. Yeah, just to see how. Actually, funny enough, are they? I didn't even know Rocket was on the cover.
Oh yeah,
He's right there, and there's Groot. No,
Ghost Rider.
is that Ghost Rider?
Well,
oh
it
shit,
kind of looks
no?
like him, but I
Maybe.
don't really know anybody else that would have.
Interesting. Yeah, I would like to try those other heroes fighting those type of themed characters. Like, actually take Captain America through and have him fight Red Skull and see how they do. Because I feel like the decks are especially in these last couple cycles have been a lot more creative, but I don't feel that they've been like, because they can't add any type of more keywords, like they
Right.
can. So, well, they can, but like they can't like stunned or things like that. So I felt that they've been relatively the same. I guess I haven't seen if there's been any power cliffing or anything like that.
Well, like I said, there's so many more options out for deck building. I think that now that they're making these campaigns, I almost think they're ramping them up a little bit because there's so many more options to deck build to prep your decks.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, and it could just be because Iron Man is Iron Man and
he
getting caught
sucks,
up
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. He's
But anyway,
the worst.
so my number 6 was Ant-Man. That was your number 5.
Yep.
Okay,
Both out of
so
8
now,
out of 10.
yeah.
Okay.
Now my number 5 is another new one, and this is Gamora.
Oh, okay.
Gamora, I need to play more. She's awesome.
You do need to play more.
Yeah. She is has interesting deck building. She brings that part in where she if you go into the deck building aspect, I can't remember the exact number of cards right at the top of my head right now, but it's like you can use X number of cards from different aspects,
yeah.
So it opens up just all these windows of stuff, and with her abilities and with some of the items that she has in her deck, the sword that she pulls out and stuff like that, adding the so she removes threat. What I've noticed about her deck is it's a lot about balance with hers. She is doing this, which also offsets the. She's very, very competent in her. She can play solo.
Yeah.
She has some really good cards in her pre-built. I can't remember the name of the card. It's an aggression card. It's in her pre-built. It has her holding this big old fucking sword.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, but
I don't remember because I thought it was her card, but nope,
it's
it was
not.
just
Other
an
people use
aggression.
it. I've used that card in some other aggressive.
Yeah,
decks.
wasn't it like if you attack
something crazy?
if you attack the villain or something, you do more damage.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
It's good. Like her pre-built deck is awesome, but just having that ability right off the bat, saying you can put, I can't remember, what is it, 10 cards from another aspect or 8, whatever. I can't remember.
I've only played the pre-built, so.
But that just opens up so much because you can run her, whatever, and then throw a whole other weird aspect in there of 10 cards, and her and Star-Lord together work really well.
I can see that.
But I like her in the aggression mode, which makes sense for her character as well.
Yes.
Throwing in some different characters and odds and ends like that. But yeah, she's another one that will definitely stay there or possibly move up depending on how things go with deck building cases. But she was another 8 for me.
Okay. All right. That was your number 5, right?
Yes.
All right. My number 4 is one that has been said already, and that is Star-Lord. So Star-Lord is so much fun. I didn't know what to expect from him because I was like, what the fuck does he do? What are they gonna do with his deck? And yeah, by doing the risk reward with his taking encounters to make things to make a lot of his great cards free, and then he does damage or thwarts depending on how many encounters, face down encounters he has in front of him, yeah, you have to find that balance with him with trying to do more damage output or more thwart output than the negative consequences of all those encounter because also sometimes drawing those might not be that bad. I mean, they're not all going to be good, but you might. There were a couple times playing him where I flip him over and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a minion of 1 health. Oh, okay, and I was like, oh, hey, actually that didn't end up to be too bad, but you never quite know what the risk is going to be. And yeah, I thought he was extremely thematic. He comboed off extremely well. But I was pleasantly surprised with what they did with this character because I had no idea what they were going to do.
And it always makes sense with him and the way they showed him in the movies too. He's like he always acted first before he thought.
Yes.
And it's just it's awesome how they kind of got that into the.
And I was surprised that they didn't have those free resource cards or the 2 resource cost cards because I was like, did they miss those? And I'm like, no, I guess, because he has an ability that makes things cheaper. He'd probably be too busted if all of his cards were free.
Yeah.
So, yep, he is at my number 4 at 8 out of 10.
All right. My number 4 is another one that's already been said, and this is Spider-Woman.
Oh, okay.
So, with her dual aspect, running the 2 aspects that are my 2 favorite to run.
Oh, yeah, that is fair, yeah.
Aggression and justice.
Yes.
And being able to take the deck building into that effect, you can make her fucking crazy now with the way all the cards that have come out. Plus, arguably, she has one of the best allies in her specific cards in the game, which is the Captain Marvel ally. Okay. And I pulled it up because I couldn't remember exactly. So the Captain Marvel ally is 4 to put in, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, but she has a response deal. After Captain Marvel uses a basic power, you draw a card. Oh, so every time a basic power gets used by her, you're drawing cards and stuff. She's really strong in that way. You don't want to play her in a 2-person deal with Captain Marvel, of course. Yeah, because Captain Marvel has a Spider-Woman ally in her deck.
She does. Okay.
So you don't want to because that just killed 2 cards out of the deal. But running my 2 favorite aspects. The deck building possibilities, she's just a badass. Okay. Like I think her however many cards every hero has, it's their own.
60. Oh, 15.
15. I think her 15 cards arguably is the best 15 card hero deck straight out with her signature cards.
Okay. I very much disagree because I was looking at those and I'm like, these do nothing. They do damage. Cool.
Well, I think it just pairs on what you do with deck building. Straight deck, I can see that. But when you get those cards pairing with other stuff, I think is where it comes in.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's a handful of justice and aggression cards that came out after Rise of Red Skull. Right. And other that kind of make it sing. And I wish I would have had them written down to be able to say them, but yeah, that's
totally fair. I mean, especially with those aspects being the 2 favorite, I can definitely see why she's so high for you.
Yeah, and she'd be an 8.5.
I have deck built with none of these.
Yeah, which is why it's a good list. Because I did try to deck build with pretty much all of them. So
right. Okay, good deal. Number 3. Yep, my number 3. Is a new character that has not been mentioned, and I really struggled with where she was gonna go. But it was kind of a toss up in kind of my personal play style. And number 3 is Scarlet Witch. So Scarlet Witch, 1 coming off the hype of WandaVision being such a fantastic show, I was like, oh, I gotta play her, and she is so much fun. Similar to Star-Lord in the way that it's kind of a risk-reward, except everything that makes her powerful is random. Like you kind of have it's chaotic. It's
chaos magic.
It's chaos magic. Yep. So she it's like, oh, I want to play this I want to do the spell card. Okay, draw the top card in the encounter deck depending on the symbol is what it does. She doesn't combo like super well. She's not doing a bunch of like interesting stuff, but she does a lot of powerful stuff, but it's going to be kind of random. And I find that to be kind of fun because none of it's bad. Right. And she has so many options to her she kind of like also mills out the encounter deck, because you can kind of mitigate what you're gonna draw, or just get rid of cards that you don't want to deal with. So she's kind of chaotically dealing with the minions and the enemies, and also like herself and what she can do. But that was such a new concept, because I think at the time there wasn't really anything that dealt with the encounter deck. It was just
she
there.
was kind of the first one, to my knowledge.
Yep. It was just there, and you drew it kind of like the encounter deck in Arkham Horror. It's just kind of something that you will draw from to have a negative effect happen to you. She started dealing with that, and I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it fit her character extremely well, and that's why she's so high up. Like, she doesn't have really a lot of negatives in her play style. Right. So she's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, she's very, very good. Oh gosh, what was I doing here?
Number 3.
Yeah, sorry, I had flipped to something else. I was looking at something. All right, yeah, I agree. She's obviously going to be higher on my list, but so my number 3 is Quicksilver.
Okay. Oh, because you did deck building.
Yes.
I was like, why? Okay.
Yes, deck building with him. He being able to pop him back up and do all that stuff. If you deck build with the right cards, and again, I wish I would have written down the cards that I used.
Yeah.
But he's just so damaging. Like I've done 18 damage with him.
Gross.
On the turn, because you just keep pile driving. It's like,
yep.
Having him be able to do that. He's so fast. The deck is so fast. He resets himself. It's just like, and it's thematic, because when if you happen to pull off the right amount of cards, you get that 18. Now, mind you, there's a little setup. It's not going to happen all the time.
Right.
But if you get this 18 damage thing, it's just like him running in circles. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
Bam,
Right.
And it's just funny.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, I think I like him best playing with another person.
Sure.
As well.
Yeah, I can see
he
that.
can play solo, but him played with another character is awesome, and just the ridiculous amount of stuff you can do with that, with the the reset or readying. Yeah, that's the word. That readying ability opens up so much cool stuff with the events and different stuff that you can do. Yep. In your deck, that
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
That it just gets ridiculous.
Whenever you deck build, do you keep their decks the same way, or do you always?
Their 15 cards stay.
Right. They have to.
That, and then everything else is aspect. So I try to random. You don't have to have an X number of events, X number of.
No, I know. I meant like whenever let's say you want to deck build with Quicksilver, and like let's say you like what you have, do you keep it like that, or do you always deconstruct that after?
I leave it the way I had it the last time. I always leave their original deck card.
Oh, I see.
With my dividers in my case.
Gotcha.
That way, if I want to go back to their deal, I can just make their deck. That way, I don't have to go on Marvel DB and look at everything.
Okay.
Now, I build my own. That's one thing I will say I do. I don't go to that Marvel card or database.
Oh, is there a database on how to deck build them?
Where people can put their decks and the super powerful, where the nerds have really went out and found this whole. And I don't do that. I build my own.
That's the whole fun. I mean, that's like people who follow the meta in Magic, and it's like, well, you didn't.
It's not a competitive game. You don't need to have that.
You didn't win. You just followed someone else.
Right.
It's like
So, but yeah, Quicksilver with the deck building is just ridiculous with him.
I can see that,
and it's fun watching him go.
Awesome. All right, my number 2 is Doctor Strange.
Oh, really? I figured he was going to be your number 1.
He almost was. But there is one reason why he is not number 1. And, I mean, he is the first hero to actually have a side deck of spells that he can do. That is absolutely super duper fucking cool. Not only is he extremely powerful, like we thought he was going to be broken, like, because you're like, how do you bring Doctor Strange in and not have him be like, yeah, I control everything. I'm just gonna dead, and it's like, just one card, win the game. And so he is, like Scarlet Witch, extremely powerful by himself. And the reason why he's higher than Scarlet Witch is because of that side deck of 5 cards. But even though he's useful without using those, but he needs to use those to be obviously even more powerful. Like you mentioned with Quicksilver being able to do like 18 damage, Doctor Strange can, I think, if I did everything right, because I always in the reviews of the characters try to figure out the best perfect scenario, I think he can pop off and get like 25 damage. I think he can get pretty fucking high. But obviously, he still is at some very rare point still kind of reliant on some of those cards. If you really need to deal a lot of damage at a given point, and you already used that spell, you have to cycle through till you've used them all. Now he has ways to get through them and most likely get what he needs at any given time, but there is still that slight chance he won't. That's pretty much the reason why he's not number 1. But yeah, him being the first one that comes in with that side deck. I think, what did you say, Adam Warlock is supposed to have his own side deck, or was it Spectrum?
It's Spectrum.
Okay.
She's gonna have like little
Gotcha.
different versions of energy that she can become.
Okay, yeah. So it was really exciting to see when Doctor Strange came out, because he was the first one to come out after our initial ranking list. He was the one that I think we were talking about that hadn't been released yet.
Well, he's my number 2 as well. So.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So with that, it was exciting to see that they weren't just gonna be like, here's the box standard, pack of cards. Like, they were going to try something new and make them work. And so far, even my least favorite one, which is still Black Panther, I'd play Hawkeye over Black Panther. Even, like, none of them are, like, absolute trash.
Right. The reason I have him, I fought about whether to put him at 1 or 2. And I ended up putting him at 2 because we did order this by how much we enjoy playing them, right? And he is, like, if I'm struggling to beat a villain, an enemy, and I'm like, I've got to beat this guy, I go to him.
Really?
Because he beats everybody.
Yeah.
And so he's like...
That's true, I have not lost with Doctor Strange.
Right, so that's why he's my number 2.
Yeah.
Because, whereas I wouldn't say he's OP, he's the most powerful character in the game, and you can win with him. So it's like... It kind of takes a little of the edge off. Like he just wins. And
that's why I said just
right,
win.
Right. And so that's why he isn't my number 1s, because I enjoy. You can probably by the math know who my number 1 is, but it's very deterministic. Like
have you beat Ronan with him?
He's going to win. I haven't played him with him.
Okay.
I haven't finished Ronan. I haven't played it yet to do Ronan.
He's
I'm being stubborn, and Iron Man is going to be a part of the team to take down Ronan.
He can be a part of the team. Doctor Strange can do all the work, and he'll be there.
but no, he just because he's so powerful. I mean, that takes a little bit of the edge off, because like you said, I win with him. He wins, and there's. That's just why he just takes a little off. He's awesome though.
He's so fucking powerful. Yeah.
Okay. Just imagine deck building with him, because you can really even make it hum even more.
That's true.
Deck build with
That's true. Yeah, but you don't need to. Why? you have the I win card. Yeah, he's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. Can you guess what my number 1 is?
Gamora.
It is. Gamora is so. It's so fucking sexy. The 10 out of 10. That body. Woo! But, honestly, if we're doing that, Doctor Strange is number 1.
At least Doctor Strange is alive.
That's true. Gamora's alive.
Well, yeah.
So, suck it. Gamora is exactly what I look for. That's why I remember Black Widow was so high up. Was for that very reason. She combos off with so many different things. Mm-hmm. And it's not just that you're comboing off to get to an endpoint. She's doing shit while you're comboing. It's like, I'm going to do this. Okay, well, because I did that, now because I dealt damage, I'm going to thwart. Okay, now I'm going to do this. That's going to thwart, and that's going to do damage. And then, okay, so I removed every single scheme, or every thwart that's out. And then I also killed everything. So, I guess I'm done. whenever I played her recently against Claw. Yeah, because I remember like Claw was lower on my villain ranking list. I'm like, oh, let me see what he's like. She annihilated him. He was a fucking joke. Like, it was like Star-Lord kind of struggled a little bit with Claw, but she was just like so just in his asshole, and it was embarrassing and how powerful that I found her to be. But yeah, just that extreme. She, out of everyone, I find her to be the most versatile. You mentioned balanced.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like you don't have someone where it's like, oh, I need this person to take care of this while this other person's dealing with these.
Right.
She can do it all. Like
yeah. She's very good, and like I said, just more plays. Because I only tried her twice.
Right.
So she needed to have a little more.
Yeah, she ended up being a 10 out of 10. Like I was absolutely like flabbergasted with how I was just like, oh my god, all of this is going off. Oh, she has all these cards and these swords and like, oh, and everything's dead and I won. And Claw is beheaded. He dealt no damage to me. Like, yeah, because not only does she have ways to defend herself, she has ways to attack, thwart. Like she's pure balance. She is, and also with that being said, she is so thematic because it's like she was bred as the ultimate like warrior. Or the ultimate assassin, or whatever they like. She just does it all. So
yeah, she's a badass.
So yeah, she was my number one in this ranking list.
All right.
So Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is my one, and because her play style is refreshing for this game.
Yeah.
Because of the chaos.
Yeah.
It's like you just what she's super powerful.
Yeah.
You know, and you just flip shit, just do this,
right.
do that.
Make it even more powerful.
Yeah, and it's nuts, the stuff that she can do, you know. Now mind you, I mean, generally, depending on the scenario you're playing and stuff, those cards that have the choices, depending on the symbol, you're always going to be able, whatever it chooses, most likely is going to fire off. Yeah, I mean, because you're going to have, there's probably going to be minions out. There's probably going to be, you know, the thwarting, the thwarting ability and all that stuff. I just like that is, like I said, it was refreshing. You know, you have all these decks where we go and we play, and everything's deterministic for the most part, except for what you're drawing. Mm-hmm. And her deal throws that extra craziness. That was what I always liked about the main runners I used in Netrunner.
Oh, okay.
Was because there was that craziness. You played a card, just like, oh yeah, what's going to happen? You know?
Yeah, right. This is either going to work really well or it's not.
Right,
yeah.
right. So it's just kind of fun to have that character in there. So ordering these by fun of play, she's the funnest, to me, in my opinion, just because of the craziness that can happen. And you team her up with somebody like of course, surprise, surprise, I use her with Iron Man.
Okay.
Which her pre-built when we played that game that one time, it's Kang.
Oh yeah.
And I was Scarlet Witch.
That's right. That's who. And now, I played Doctor Strange. That's who I played.
And we crushed because, you know, but I had because Justice, I think, is in her pre-built.
I think
which
so.
is awesome. And then if I when I team them up, I would keep her at Justice. I am able to switch my Iron Man Justice to Iron Man Aggression.
Okay.
And that just gets nuts.
Right.
You know,
So I can imagine.
So those two work well together. But yeah, Scarlet Witch is just a badass in general. She would be my 10.
Your 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Just because of the fun deal. By the way, just to clarify, I saw something because I was looking up something really quick, and there is a deck on the Marvel CDB.com. This is the deck building site, and there is a setup that you can do 100 plus damage with Quicksilver.
You're kidding.
Nope. And they got the deck, and it tells you how to set it up.
That's disgusting.
And as you can do 100 plus damage.
That's wild.
And there's people that figure this shit out.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, they're the same people who go and win turn 1 in Magic tournaments. It's like, and they also put that online because they have no one else to fucking talk to because no one likes being around them. It's just like, dude, get the fuck away from me, man. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Do you know you can set up 100 damage with that?
No, please come back. Yeah, it's like, it's like, wow, that's great. I'm gonna go over here. That's insane, though. Yeah, I will never be that guy. I will never sit there and try to math it all out. I always try to eyeball it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our second ranking list for Marvel Champions Heroes. I mean, honestly, more to come. Like, we know of, 5 more at this point?
There was Drax and...
Drax and Venom are for sure.
And then we have Valkyrie.
Well, rumors.
It's pretty well confirmed on those.
Well, that's the video you sent me. That guy it's a leak.
Yeah.
So we don't know, but...
Chances are War Machine, Valkyrie, Nebula.
And Vision.
Yep,
so 6 more. I forgot about Nebula. Yep. And then the 2, that'll be... Oh, then Adam Warlock and Spectrum.
Spectrum will be in.
Spectrum. And then the 2... So that'll be... That's like another 8.
I know.
Already. And then you have, of course, the Thanos' children, and then Thanos. That's going to be the next big box. So... That's as far as we know. I mean, they're released once a month. So I think, I don't know where they're going. I thought they were going to drag it out until you hit Thanos at one point. I'm surprised it's already here.
I bet they're just trying to ramp it and they start going... I bet they start going either X-Men or Fantastic Four box or
yeah,
something.
that's true. They have those rights. It's not like we have to sit there like the Disney X-Men rights and stuff. Yeah, they have it. So... Yeah, that's true. They could. I mean,
X-Force.
Oh man, I'd love a Deadpool deck.
Well, and Punisher. And
if they did Deadpool and you're just sitting there and it's just all blank and you're just like, what the fuck? And it's just like, random. We don't know what's happening.
You can flip off your partner before they flip you off.
Then you deal 5 damage. I'm very excited for the longevity of this game. This and Ark. I mean, if this goes as long as Arkham did, then I'd be happy. Or as Arkham is. They're both still going. So hopefully Fantasy Flight doesn't do what they do best and die out their games.
As long as they don't lose the IP.
Yep,
that's
true.
their biggest thing right now.
That's true. So that's it, everyone. Let us know what you think of these heroes in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.